5 top-rated attractions and places to visit in Vermont. Vermont is equal parts myth and reality, home to a mystique that other states can only envy. A mere mention of its name, and images appear. Sunlit meadows of black and white cows, dazzling white ski trails, tidy hillside farms, blazing red maple trees along a stone wall, covered bridges, buckets collecting sap for maple syrup. Certainly these idyllic scenes still exist, although less picturesque plastic tubing has replaced most of the buckets, and many of the farms may now be chic B&Bs. Another Vermont exists alongside this idealized one, represented by bustling Burlington, the outlet malls of Manchester, Killington's frenetic uppers ski scene, and Brattleboro's unlikely blend of gritty blue-collar and 70s hippies grown up. Even the state's mainstay of agriculture has a new look, as dozens of artisanal cheese makers transform Vermont's dairy industry, and tourists eagerly follow the Vermont Cheese Trail to sample them. Other trails lead to traditional tourist attractions, maple farms boiling sap and welcoming visitors each March, and covered bridges, 7 of them in the far northern town of Montgomery alone. You'll enjoy both Vermonts. For more ideas, see our video to the top attractions in Vermont. Number 5. Burlington Bike Path and Waterfront Park. A paved bicycle path borders 8 miles of Burlington's Lake Champlain shoreline, extending from Oakledge Park north to the Winooski River. Alongside is a graded path for walkers and runners, with benches at points with the best views across the lake. The path connects several parks that mark the shoreline, and a boardwalk forms a promenade along the central section. Here, you'll find the Echo Lake Aquarium and Science Center and Vermont's only All-America display garden, where flowering ornamental plants bloom through summer and fall. Waterfront Park is the site of several festivals in the summer, and picnic tables along the route invite a lakeside lunch. In the spring, the path is lined by brilliant blooming azaleas, and at any time of year, this is Vermont's best spot for watching the spectacular sunsets over Lake Champlain. Number 4. Mount Mansfield and Smuggler's Notch. Mountain Road climbs out of Stowe and up the shoulder of Mount Mansfield, past Stowe Mountain Resort, where a gondola carries skiers and sightseers to the summit. Beyond the resort, the road narrows to snake through Smuggler's Notch, one of Vermont's most engaging natural attractions. The road through this pass between Mount Mansfield and Spruce Peak is so tight and narrow as it winds upward, that at some curves, only a single car can pass through the openings between the giant boulders. Snowplows can't get through it in the winter, when the road closes just past the ski area. The rest of the year, you can park the car and walk the paths among this massive jumble of glacial rock, and discover the caves where 19th-century smugglers once hid. The caves and gigantic boulders were formed when the glacier stalled here during the last ice age, smashing the mountain ledges and dropping them into the notch, where they were carved and tumbled by more glacial action. Mansfield is Vermont's highest mountain, and at its top are sweeping views, and more than 2 miles of ridge-top hiking above tree line. This is one of only 2 places in Vermont where rare Arctic alpine tundra exists. A number of routes reach its summit. The long trail crosses Route 108 at the foot of Smuggler's Notch, climbing steadily for 2.3 miles to the ridgeline. Close to the point where the long trail crosses Route 108 at the base of Smuggler's Notch, Top Notch Resort is a luxurious base for exploring the area, with mountain views, 3 pools, a full-service spa, and a fine dining restaurant. Number 3. Hildene. Robert Todd Lincoln, son of the president, visited Manchester with his mother shortly before his father's assassination. After he had become president of Pullman Company in the early 20th century, he returned to build the Georgian Revival Hildene as his country estate. Hildene represents a fine example of homes built as retreats for the families of wealthy magnates, and is furnished with a number of pieces from Mrs. Lincoln's family. Personal belongings of President Lincoln include his famous stovepipe hat. Other highlights are the 1,000-pipe 1908 Aeolian organ, in working condition, and the elegant dining room furnished in Queen Anne style. The home remained in the Lincoln family until 1975, thus preserving the original furnishings and memorabilia. The formal gardens on the terrace overlooking the broad valley have been restored from records of original plantings. You can stay in another of these elegant mansions built in Manchester by wealthy industrialists. The Inn at Ormsby Hill, near Haldane, is now an elegant bed and breakfast. Address: 1005 Haldane Road, Manchester, Vermont. Number 2. Church Street Marketplace. In the heart of downtown Burlington, Church Street is only 4 blocks long, but it forms a wide, traffic-free space for public events and a lively street life even in Vermont's cold winters, along with the festivals scheduled throughout the year. It's a place for sidewalk cafes, benches, and public artworks, and the buildings alongside it are filled with shops, restaurants, and boutiques. In the summer, when everyone is outdoors, it has the feel of an Italian piazza. A mural Everyone Loves a Parade by Canadian muralist Pierre Hardy decorates a wall, and other artworks include a life-sized statue of a local jazz artist and a fish fountain crafted of metal. It's no wonder this has been named one of the great public spaces in America. It's also listed as a National Register Historic District. You can stay close to the action, only a block away at the Hotel Vermont. This hip, modern inn has a local community ethic and lovely views of Lake Champlain from its upper-floor guest rooms. Address: Church Street, Burlington, Vermont. Number 1. Stowe. With a covered bridge, white-spired church, weathered barns, and ski trails down the mountainside, Stowe is everybody's image of Vermont. At the foot of Mount Mansfield and in the heart of the state's snow belt, it's also the town that most personifies the glory days of Vermont's early ski industry, a heritage that's explored here in the Vermont Ski Museum. Although avid skiers had climbed the mountain long before that, and a rope tow was installed in 1937, things really took off in 1940. When the first chairlift was opened. It's not all about skiing. You'll find shops and boutiques, art galleries, dining and lodging of all sorts. Exhibits of works by Vermont-based artists are shown in the Helen Day Art Center. You can rent bicycles to ride, or you can walk or skate along the 5.3-mile Stowe Recreation Path, a paved multi-use route through meadows and woods alongside the river, with beautiful views of Mount Mansfield. Stowe Mountain Resort is still one of New England's premier ski destinations, and the gondola that carries skiers in the winter takes sightseers to the summit for more views in the summer and fall. You can find things to do here all year. Subscribe to our channel for more similar videos.